Now, these concepts could be easily applied to other, people who are LGBT or people who are or women seeking a husband. But as a bonus, before we even get into it, I'd recommend pausing this and going into the description. There's a link to a video. Guy talks about major things that people don't think about before marriage, stuff like that you might end up having less sex, and that the decisions might fall to one person, often being the woman, and then just some things to like. There are these checklists on YouTube which are also worth researching, where it's like 50 things to ask before you get married. But I'm gonna share my top 10, and these ideas, my hope is that they'll resonate with you. If you like the rest of my content, then check this out. So number one is selecting a spouse is checking your list. You should have a list of things. You don't want to be too specific, but be as generalized as possible, because you don't want to omit someone who might be a potential match, right? Like because of their certain physical or mental qualities or certain interests. But you do want to have absolutes. You want to have, an obvious one would be, if you're a non-smoker, highly improbable you'd want a smoker, right? So and you want a monogamous person, things like that. So you should have a list. And if you don't know where to start off with I'll give you my list of top 3 absolutes and absolutely nots. And they are number 1, I'm practice no premarital intimacy. So I would want someone who not only does that, but would relay that same standard unto our children. Then veganism, practicing that. And then what's one other absolute? Gender restrictions. So limiting how they interact with the opposite gender. Okay, and then, well, that's more of like absolutely nots. So it's like an absolutely not, limited gender. And then another absolutely not would be no pets whatsoever, because I'm only interested in human beings, not pets. Like I would rather spend 5 more minutes, massaging, say, my wife rather than a pet. Okay, so So, ooh, yeah. So that's like number one. You need to have a list, right? So get into that, and then number two, you're looking for a spouse. Since I'm passionate about giving oral sex, the vulva, Goddess V. When I look at a woman, a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll kind of visually see, be it curves or be it an attractive face. But there's something that happens when you approach, it, has curves and whatnot, but when you look at a woman and the prerequisite question, is this somebody who I'm attracted to? Her vulva, who I think I would want to give oral sex to. And you can kind of gauge it. Like, even though you can't see their vulva, which I like all kinds of vulvas, so that's not really a concern. But when you can see, all right, guys, pedal to the floor, man, we're rolling. The boys are back in town, boys. Ow. All right, so when you can see that, that you would like there are some factors like skin tone, like whether they have, they're not too fat on the legs, like they at least have a gap, a small gap, whatever it is, so the vulva can breathe. Stuff like that, I think, is really consequential. And so number two. Number three is decide whether or not it's with, but who I wouldn't want to have children. Yeah, like because they're not, maybe their hips aren't wide enough. Variables like that. So number one, to review, you have your list of absolutes and absolutely nots. Then you want to decide, hey, is this a woman who I would enjoy giving oral sex to? Then you want to ask, if you're planning to have children, is this a woman who looks like she's smart and has a good genetics that you think she would, be able to grow a child, a healthy, strong, smart child in her body? And then, of course, she's going to be the one raising the child. So as you can imagine, it's just a selection thing. It's like the difference between the way holy shit, we got a heavy rain, boys, heavy rain. I had to put the windshield wipers on full blast. So it's the difference between when you're if you're a rich person You know, if you're like the master. Pardon the technical difficulties. So, as a man, you should be wanting a virgin. You should be wanting somebody who is not only virgin, but like has never been in love or never kissed someone in love or never kissed someone or anything. Uh, oh, oh. So I'm. So point four is that don't go on a date. This is my advice for marriage. And this is going to help not only you, but everyone else all have a virgin wife, which we all deserve. And we got to work together collectively as men to materialize that reality. Men think that, you know, we need to try before we buy, quote, like we need to go on dates, we need to, you know, be around someone, maybe intimacy, maybe live with them, all that. But the trouble is that doesn't get you what you want in the most efficient way. Like when people go on dates, like their goal, and to have sex, their goal is to figure out compatibility, and you know, they're trying to gauge, and the problem is this takes too much time, guys. So what you really want to do is, this is my theory, it's if you like someone, so this is kind of like multiple steps. This is going to be like the rest, like 4 through 10 pretty much. So point number 4 is no dating, because people should prefer virgins and it's not the most efficient way. So point 5 is the first step in that, which is find a way to meet someone that you like. It's generally going to be at in a social environment or where there's people around, right? Fuck. So whether it be at work, whether it be at the shopping center where people are gathering and doing different things, or at some type of recreational activity event, or some type of where else could it be, guys? Be at like a you know, where a place. And so when you see someone, a gym is a good place too, because it's like, where do you plan to live and exercise for the rest of your life? Probably somewhere in area that you are. So you're pardon me, guys. I'm a little mentally preoccupied, but you're choosing someone and they're going to be somebody who you're actually you sense a mutual physical attraction. Here's how I recommend it happens. So I recommend the guy look at the woman first. That's a nonverbal initiation. Then the woman okay. The woman show off her body to the guy in some way. If she likes him, she has to show a nonverbal cue. And this is all assuming that both are ready for marriage. Then the guy asks her something like, are you interested in finding a husband, or is that a goal of yours to get married? Something along those lines. Like, a lot of guys don't cut to the chase, and you want to leave something really clear, like not messing around. Like, I'm looking for I'm looking for a wife. Something really serious. So and then what you can do is, and you can also ask the person, you can ask them if they have what the fuck? Do I really have 13 viewers? Joey! You can ask the person, the woman, does she have any male figures? Because we have to really respect the men in our lives. As men, we need to respect other men. That's how it always used to be. It always used to be the guys would ask the fathers, I'm interested in your daughter. And just the same, we should do that, because you want to at least try. Maybe they won't approve of you, but at least you went through the tradition of at least trying to do the honorable thing. And this goes just the same as with her. Okay. With her. With her like brothers or whoever male people she knows, tell the woman that yeah, you are interested in her, and if has interest too, then here's my card or here's my email. Please give it to your father, and please also email me, because email is good. Email is written. It's like professional in a way, and you really want to keep it clean and platonic. When if you're not operating off of desire because you're masturbating and you've got yourself taken care of. If that's how you're really operating, then you're gonna want to treat this like a researcher. Treat it really professionally, where you're not trying to seduce someone. What you're doing instead is you want information, and you want it efficiently. That's all these dating and drawn out, like all this fucking engagement and fiance. It's all bullshit, you guys. It's all inefficient, and it's all a tease. What, you're gonna have sex with the person over the weekend and then maybe next weekend? Like, when I fucking start, you know, having sex with my wife, I want to be consistent, and oral sex on her and just fun, it's like that's what it means to be able to rely on someone and trust them. Like, you're going to really be there together, and you can do all this through email. You can assess someone's, you can talk, general things like, hey, are you, general goals, and then you can dock into more personal goals, all via email. With the woman, you can ask her, hey, are you interested in being a stay-at-home wife if possible? Is that, and that's another major thing. Like, as a man and as a woman, you need to ascertain what your ideal situation would be. Just like how if somebody suddenly runs into $5 million, what will their ideal situation be? Are they going to invest it in some business? Are they gonna do something that they are thinking of doing or have wanted to do? Are they gonna just take a break from reality and have a family? But then, you know, all that money, maybe, you don't want to spend it, right? You want to invest it and make it grow. And so the reality of it is, all of this you can figure out via email, and you can. People, here's the problem. People get this. Roundhouse. How'd you know that I masturbate in the Starbucks bathroom? That's so funny. Oh man, good times. So here's the reality, guys. Like I don't recommend marriage, because I recommend what I call legal marriage, where it's not involving a third person. It's not involving the state. Roundhouse, come on. You're. It's just you and the lady, the woman, and you should have a prenuptial agreement that's like certified in whatever way it has to, whether it's through an attorney's office or through a notary where they stamp and certify it, and then maybe you can file it as a like document. I don't know. The problem is you don't want to involve the government too much, because that just makes women feel like they have all the power to take all the guy's stuff, and it's gonna make you uncomfortable and throughout the marriage. But if to you guys tuning in, you got to check out the link in the description. This is going to give you a reference if you're serious about marriage. Some people that I think watch my content, they make fun of me. They say, I don't know about marriage. I've never been married. Stuff like that. But the reality is, that's what I'm interested in. It's kind of like being interested in the sport. Maybe you're not a professional athlete, but you've maybe studied the sport a lot and can talk about it. But I'm not interested in, any sport per se. I'm interested in figuring out marriage. And so, to conclude, the beginning steps is you want to have that list, your absolutes and your absolute nots. You should know yourself, and if you don't, writing will reveal who you really are, because people think they know themselves and they have a concept, but when stuff's in your head, it's cycling around, and everything gets busy in life. You've got too much going on in your head, and you don't really know yourself, and you don't have a trajectory. And so you want to write down, you want to have like your own religion, your own Bible with some core values and things that, oh, you know what? I'm passionate about this particular music or this hobby. And if my wife is not into it, there was, I would not want somebody to be in my life who wasn't into that. Excuse me. And so that's your absolutes and your absolute nots. Then point number 2 to ask is, would you want to give her oral sex? This is a prerequisite. You should be able to look at a woman and decide, hey, I would probably want to give her oral sex. Number 3, if you're gonna have kids, you want her to be healthy, mentally strong, and physically able to have healthy children, right? And it's not only a woman's body that weakens over time in far as her gestational or her ability to have healthy kids, but it's also the man's sperm. So be aware of that. And then next we have what was number 4? I can't remember, but number 5 and the rest of the list through 10 was basically all these steps on, meet the person. Once you have met the person, the woman, the guy looks at him. Let's call it number 5. The guy looks at her. Number 6, the woman poses her body to suggestively show that she's interested. Or walks near him. Number 7 is the guy asks her, are you interested in, is your goal in life to get married? I'm looking for a wife, or are you trying to find a husband? Stuff like that. And then, or is your goal in life to be married? It can be a little philosophical. It doesn't have to be too intimidating to the woman. And then asking the woman, then that number 8 would be asking the woman, do you have any men in your life, and exchanging, giving her your email. The thing is you want to give it's called putting the ball in somebody's court. So, like on job sites, what I do is if I witness a problem, I'll describe it and then to a higher up, and then it's no longer a mental burden to me. It's now the put on somebody else to figure out, like the whoever's managing the site. And just the same, as a man, you need to keep passing the ball back and forth to the woman, because you don't want her to feel forced. You don't want the situation to be contrived and like you're trying to pressure her. You want it to be like, take my email. And then if she wants an email, then she can. If she wants to get back to you, then she can. So here's my card, or take down my email. Email specifically, guys, not phone number. Email is more formal, and this is all about efficiency. So number 9 is start communicating via email, and also consider you should be asking, I want to also have it be a group email with the father and maybe uncle, whoever it might be. And then once they all approve and you all have enough in common, then maybe you can go into more private information, like your sexual interests, like frequency and duration of sex you want to have. You can exchange nude pictures. You can just be honest with each other. You can talk about maybe financial goals or private individualized matters like financial issues, maybe the problems you've had in your past, because you want this person to really like you. That's the magic, guys. You want this person to really like you for who you are. So Roundhouse, I'm screenshotting you, That was a good one, dude. All right, that's what I have there, and that's my 10 steps for actually selecting someone in an efficient and technical way that is not invasive but yet gets to the point. It's like, what's the truth here? And that's our search for truth as people who are seeking knowledge and are red pill aware. And there we go, guys. And don't forget to know this, that in religion, they say a man of principles or a religious man, like he wouldn't marry someone unless she was the same religion. That's the way you want to operate, guys. You want to operate like you have your own religion, you have your own, approach to the life. Oh, Joey, Vivi, Roundhouse. Holy. Oh, you guys are good. Uh, That's one reason that I'm vegan, because I feel like it makes a person's body cleaner, and so giving oral sex to a woman would be, a cleaner experience. Uh, um, so, so what am I saying here? As a principled man, you want to be masturbating regularly so that you're not controlled by that desire. You want it to be really crystal clear. Like, woman, if I don't need you to get off. I don't need you for that sexual release. I want you to join me in my life and adventures, and for us to have fun together, including having children, if that's the case, and raising them with the man's values. That's what it means to be a principled man. Like, it's effectually the opposite of a simp. Okay? If you don't want to be a simp, what do simps do? They just yes women and agree with them and let them do whatever, let them be the leaders. Yeah, because all the man cares about is sex. So he'll tell the woman whatever she wants, and he'll let her be masculine, and then he'll get sex. But it's not love, guys. And we want to create a world filled with love where we can trust each other. Where, oh yeah, that's what number 4 was. Holy Roundhouse! Oh. Yeah, we want to be able to trust each other, and we want a virgin wife, and the only way that's possible is if we all collectively agree as men. You know what? We're not gonna seduce or have premarital intimacy. We're gonna wait until marriage, and by marriage, here's the point I should have said earlier. Marriage is the illegal marriage that I came up with is, the woman changes her last name to yours. And by the way, if she doesn't want to, why wouldn't she want to? Why wouldn't she want to empower her man to be masculine and her to be feminine? And then you wear a wedding band. You both wear a wedding band, and you don't get legally married, but you do those things and get publicly married. And by the way, sex is a more important act than the marriage ceremony. Okay? So sex is what kind of locks you in to be physically close and connected with someone psychically and everything. And so there you go. But yeah, you do want to have that public ceremony. You do want to have like public profile pictures on the internet, and also be careful. I mean, there's exceptions where some people may be high profile, or they may have a problematic ex where you'll want to hide the relationship. But for the average person, no, you want to publicly show everyone that you're together. And the problem with going on dates, if you're not married, is dating is in public is one way that married people in the past show that they were married. Like how else are you going to show the world that you're married. So that's why you don't want to do that. But thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna have this obviously available once it's published, and you're gonna want to check out this video. This guy talks about before you say I do. Maybe you can keyword search those on YouTube. Before getting married, watch this. Something like that, and it's just this really cool guy who really breaks down good. So thank you guys. I've had fun. Remember to like the video before we wrap it up, and we will. I'll be back. All right. I'll keep pushing it, guys. I'm pushing hard. This is Goddess V, man. This is Goddess V powered. We got this. All right, guys. Aloha.